Welcome to At the Table.
where we are connecting entrepreneurs, discovering missions, and building communities with purpose, body, soul, mind, and business with
Charlie
and Heather.
with Women in Leadership.
Welcome back to Mindset Monday. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. And together we are working really hard, but we are so excited today to bring you Mindset Monday.
We are excited to bring you Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is our way of sharing with you different tips and tools to help you learn and grow, but also start the week off in a positive mindset, because we know positive mindsets
Great positive results.
Positive results, right?
We want more positive in our lives.
Mhm.
So that's why we do this.
Okay,
So
so
when we're choosing and deciding,
Mhm.
we have control.
we have control, and a woman in control of herself and her emotions is a powerful woman.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's create that power today. We are currently reading Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, and you can check out that reading on just like
Go to the
podcast
blog.
now.
Go to the blog and find all the links for the weekly readings. If you want to have your own copy to highlight and mark up, you can order your own copies and go through these. We're about halfway through both of these books right now.
The other one is The Secret Power of Yoga by Nishla Joy Devi. So we're going to talk about this one. This one's pretty beefy today, you guys.
So we've been really enjoying the blending of these two books.
Yeah, it's really cool. So first we're going to talk about Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And we're on chapter 13 this week, prosperity.
I deserve the best and I accept the best now.
I deserve the best and I accept the best now. Right now.
Right now.
If you want the above affirmations to be true for you, then you do not want to believe any of these following statements. There's a whole list. I am going to just talk about a few, and then we don't actually have examples in this chapter of how to reword those. So we're going to practice rewording those.
Yes.
Money doesn't grow on trees. I feel like we should reword that into money is flowing freely to me. Money is evil. I use my resources for good.
I like that.
Rich people are crooks.
Isn't that crazy? That's like these mindsets that could have been instilled into us. Rich people are people just like me.
I don't want to have money and be stuck up. I use my resources for good.
Right?
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 It comes back to that. Poor people can never get out from under. You want to try that one?
I'm already enough.
I'm already enough.
I am capable.
Ooh. I am capable. Artists have to struggle. My art is valuable.
My art is valuable.
I don't deserve.
I deserve.
I deserve.
Yeah. I deserve.
I deserve. And the last one we thought was very important, especially right now with things going on in the world. We've heard about different banks going under and all that kind of stuff, which can be really scary, right? So this one, a depression could come at any moment.
I am in control of my family's destiny.
I am in control of my family's destiny.
Feels really good.
It feels really good, right?
I feel that works for the poverty one too, right? I am in control of my family's destiny. Because if we're not focusing on the fear and propaganda around big things like the bank stuff
Mhm.
and we're focusing on what is actually affecting us. Is that affecting you? Do you need to make a different decision with your money?
Mhm.
Then that's a decision.
Right.
Instead of coming at it from fear and,
Mhm.
oh gosh, and this big thing, you're like, oh no, I'm calm. I'm going to make a choice.
Right.
Or, that's not even in my realm of worrying about because it doesn't personally affect me.
Mhm. Yeah. And oh my gosh, this just I have memories of working with Teresa Lieutenant, who is an amazing financial coach, and she has been helping us around the mindset around money, and her classes have been amazing.
They have really,
So-
really been amazing.
It-
I believe she has one this week.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll drop the links below if you wanted to attend.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that till just this second. So she has a brand new
Mhm.
money mindset community going
Mhm.
on.
Yeah. Oh, and
And
this is the first week for it, so you want to come check it out. Well,
yeah.
yeah.
So, oh yay. So
Yay,
excited.
So let's talk for a minute about deserving and what we feel we deserve. Let that sink in for a minute. What do you feel you deserve? How much do you feel you deserve? I'll give you a hint. The answer is everything.
Right.
Everything you want, you can deserve. You deserve.
You deserve it because you're here right now.
Mhm.
You're listening to this right now. You're alive right now. You're breathing right now. You
Mhm.
deserve. You are deserving.
You are deserving. All right, it's spring, guys.
This is so perfect.
What do we do in the spring? We do spring cleaning, right? It's officially spring. And a lot of people practice spring cleaning. And we are actually going to talk about spring cleaning a couple of times today, but we want to talk about the concept of when you clear out the negative, you make room for more of the positive, right?
You create room for the flow of energy.
Yeah.
So when we declutter our home, like we're going to talk about that, right? Like, so
Mhm.
it just creates that flow.
Mhm. And what happens in your mind when things are uncluttered, right? So when we talk about cleaning out our house, regular spring cleaning, also think about cleaning out the rooms in your mind, right?
Yeah.
There's space in there, right? So as you know, as you're getting rid of stuff, go ahead and Marie Conduit, thank the item for being of service to you for the time, and then let
Forgot
it
that
go.
she did that. That's where that
Yeah.
came from. I told my son
Thank
something
you,
the
and
other
then let it
day.
go.
I said he was something, and he was like, "I think it's broken, and we can't use it." And I was like, "Well, then we should just throw it away and tell it thank you for its time." And I couldn't remember where I had learned
Mhm.
that. Thank you, thank you for the reminder, because I was like, "Oh yeah."
This next section had me thinking, because when I was growing up, I dreaded having my own bills and doing my own bills, because my experience with bills was my mom sitting at the table in tears. Like she would do the bills and stuff at night when his kids were asleep, so that we didn't have to
See her,
see her
the
struggle,
process.
right?
So what it was, my experience wasn't much different. The stress around checking the mailbox,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
everything's a bill,
Yeah.
right?
Right. And this mindset that she talks about in this book here is about loving your bills, being thankful for the ability to pay those bills, to have those resources.
Mhm.
Like, thank you, internet, for providing me
The ability to do my job,
the ability to,
right?
live
Connect
our
with the
lives and
world,
connect with the
and
world. And thank you
gratitude.
for
the home.
providing me the ability. Thank you for the ability to pay this bill.
Yeah.
I have the resources to pay this. Thank you. Right?
Ooh, you start doing that and you're gonna
Mhm.
see a shift. And then having that gratitude, it takes that weight off of you when you're coming from gratitude.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it does, it shifts the flow.
I'm not saying we're gonna skip to the mailbox with joy. I got a bill. Woo!
No, just
but
having
just
a moment of
being
gratitude for it.
grateful
Mhm.
to pay it,
Mhm.
and there's room, that the flow is happening for you. This creates that ease that we're wanting in life.
Mhm.
Hearing that a lot of ladies, like, I'm done with overwhelm, I want to be in ease.
Yeah.
This is one of those steps you take.
That you have to take.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because the only thing holding us back is ourselves.
Right.
So get over yourself. Stop holding yourself back.
I just don't like it when you're like, yeah, no, it's me. Like, they're like, how do I help you with that? I don't know. Sorry. I gotta work on it.
And then before we wrap up this chapter, there's two more things I want to talk about here, and that is the ocean of abundance. Think of the abundant resources that are available to you. Now think of every star in the sky. You have more abundant resources than that. Every drop of water in the ocean, you have more resources available than that. How big is your cup of abundance? Is it a thimble, a tablespoon? What is it? Because it should be the ocean or the sky. Okay. Ocean of abundance. You have an ocean of abundance.
You just have to tap into it.
All right. And lastly,
Accepting compliments.
oh, it's so hard.
Stop dismissing them.
Right.
We are very good at women, as women, even men, I've seen it too. They just push it away. And that is not helping you.
Rejoice in the good, in the compliments. Accept those compliments and just say thank you.
And it's uncomfortable.
Right? Just say thank you.
But that's a
And
good
leave it.
uncomfortable.
Don't butt yourself.
No shitting. Nobody.
You know, don't respond with things like, no problem. You know, because that diminishes yourself. Because maybe it was a problem. It took time and resources and energy from you to do whatever task you did for someone else, right? How does that affect you? Don't diminish that. Right? We're going to read the affirmation at the end of the podcast today, you guys. Secret Power of Yoga. We are in chapter 2, book 6 this week. Yama, reflection of our own true nature. And there is a lot in this chapter today, but there was a few things that we wanted to talk about.
So Charlie reads the entire chapter for you, because it's a doozy. Like, both of these chapters this week are very long. So let's see. There, I finally got
I do
to the
encourage
end of
you to
it.
go.
So it's a good chunk. So there's a lot of information in here, a lot of tools, a lot of things where you can spend time in reflection, get that journal out, do the things. So I encourage you to listen or watch on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Because it's good. It's good, and it's definitely worth it. So in this chapter, she talks about treating other things with respect based on everything you encounter is serving you in some way,
Right.
whether it's a person or a thing. And then she shares this story called "Even a Car Has Consciousness." So basically, this story, she's with her yoga master, and they're going to a conference or something, and the car picks them up from the hotel and takes them to the conference. And one of the other people in the car with them, when they get out, slams the door shut behind them, and the Reiki master tells her, don't you realize the service this car has done for us? Without its assistance, we would not be able to come this distance. It has brought us here safely and in comfort. For that service, you thoughtlessly have slammed its door and caused the whole car to vibrate and be hurt. After that heartfelt explanation, Susan, the other gal, walked back to the car, caressed it lovingly, and apologized for
Basically being
injuring
rude.
the car. Yeah, for being rude to the car. And so that is a practice that she herself, Nishla, has put into place as just like a general rule in her life. If she accidentally slams the door or something like that, she, you go back and you apologize.
And you soothe out the vibration.
You soothe out the vibration.
So you're basically creating, like if you were in a pool, you're creating a big wave with whatever reaction you had, and your idea is to soothe the waters of the wave again. So if you needed a really good visual, right, of that energy vibrations, they're happening around us. So when we react in these ways, it actually creates a physical reaction. So that door slam maybe one time isn't a big deal, but as you do it, then more things in the car are going to break up and break apart instead of being harmonious.
That's with everything, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
Drop the mic, Heather.
So soothing that vibration, having that gratitude for coming again from gratitude, right? That thank you for your service, for taking me from A to B, for washing my dishes, for,
even the resources available to pay for the car and the fuel and the maintenance on the car, and it's like a whole thing for the driver and his family. Like if you really sit down and think about, say you're eating a sandwich, how many people's hard work went into making that sandwich, all the way down from the farmer who planted the
animals
seeds,
that
or the
fertilized the land, that harvest the seed, the farmer's hard work, to the grain mill that made the bread. And we're only talking about the bread. Then we also have each vegetable or the meat that came from it. Like, wow. And then each person all the way, the stalker at the grocery store, like they put that on the shelf so that we could enjoy it. Like, wow, like to get to our table is huge.
And it's just a sandwich, right? But it's not just a sandwich.
It's not.
So,
because think about it, like when we get paid for something, and then that changes our family's lives. So the person that is the bread grinder or in charge of that person that was in charge of putting the grain into the hopper, their life is affected because I am having a sandwich. Their lives are also affected because I'm choosing a sandwich. Wow. Darn sandwiches.
so this next piece here, I think, is really important.
Yes.
Gossiping diffuses our nervous systems is the name of this section, and it talks about fight or flight and how man's natural instinct is either to fight or flee, but women, their instinct is to be quiet and hide and like protect, right? protect the children, protect the resources.
What I'm seeing is in that car went, back in the day, yeah, mom's arm comes across to
Yeah,
protect
mom,
you.
your arm's not a seatbelt.
Right? But
Mhm.
that's our instinct, right? Is to
Mhm.
protect our babies.
Mhm.
And so let's talk about this in reference to gossiping, what we feel is gossiping.
The now derogatory term gossip originally meant to see God or godparent. Gossiping actually started as an alarm system. Women hanging clothes to dry, this is where the term hanging out your laundry for everyone to see comes
Yeah.
from. So women hanging close to dry would pass on news of the town, warnings, or any unpleasant experiences, especially with abusive men. They would whisper these messages, hoping to avail others of this peril. When the men found out that their names were being dragged through the mud, or in this case, the clean sheets, they decreed a severe punishment for any gossiping.
So women sharing information
Mhm.
about abusive men termed the term gossiping as a
To be
negative,
bad, and then it
evil,
became a
bad
sin.
thing. Then it became a sin with punishment.
Mhm. Guilt and shame.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sarcasm's my friend. Okay. Mhm.
So, and I would definitely recommend you read that whole chapter, but that piece, I was like, ooh, that's a lot.
That is a lot
Mhm.
because we feel like we're sharing experiences with each other as women. And then we also feel like, okay, is it okay that I talk about these things?
Mhm.
So then it's our natural instinct to talk and warn and protect each other, but we don't want to be shameful.
Mhm.
So then we're judging ourselves. Oh wow, that's a whole
It's a whole
trail.
thing,
Yeah.
right? So that's where it comes from. Okay. Permission to give. You have permission to give. And guess what? If you give generously, right? It opens the floodgates.
So we were talking
For
about
abundance.
flow.
Yep.
And so when we're generously giving of our time, of our energy, of the things that we're here to do,
Mhm.
we open up that flow.
Mhm.
So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're same concept on a bigger scale, right?
Right. And she explains it a little bit differently than Louise Hay does. But again, by giving, just not holding on to that resource. Like, think about it this way. Okay. When you're all clenched and tight, it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't
It doesn't feel good. But if you're holding on to your resources with all your might, really, really tight, there's nowhere for any money to come in. There's no
not
room for abundance.
There's
It's
I like
closed.
this clenching
hands,
fists
right?
that you have.
There's no
Taking your fists, putting them one on top of each other, and just like making a fist. Now, can you put anything in the middle of that? You have to be open, so there's space in the middle of your hands, right? So if you open your hands and spread out your 5 fingers and you touch your fingertips, you now have something that money can flow through. So you want to create that feeling. Well, energy can flow through. It doesn't matter if it's just money. Money's one
Right.
aspect, one place
Right.
that you can be clenched at.
Yeah. So just creating space by not holding on so tight, right? It could be a little loose. Be like, I like my house, but there's room to grow, right? I like my finances, but there's room to grow.
Do you see?
Right?
Do you see how
it?
that
Okay.
can?
So, think about that this week, as you go through your week this week. What are you holding on to? Uh, So she also talks about the power of sexual energy, okay, and how women were basically guilted and shamed because of men's desire for them. Right? Right.
I want
And
to
so they had to
say
cover
the
their
F
bodies
word.
and they had to cover, right? So
This is where, when you're digging into this for the first few times, you're just like, screw men, right? Like, I can see how that feminism can be like overpowering, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
Why this awareness, we want to create a balance of positive
Mhm.
energies, and we
Mhm.
do need the feminine and the masculine
Masculine
energy
energy.
to be balanced.
Correct.
So that's not what we're saying when we talk about these deep things.
Right. This is just like the history of where it came from, right? So that we can understand where we're at today.
Yeah, and why we can let go of the guilt and the shame, because
Mhm.
there shouldn't have been guilt and the shame
In the first place. Then she goes into this exploring the 4 stages of life, which I found really, really interesting. The first stage of life is Brahmacharya, a time celebrated for creativity, play, and study. This all important time is spent gaining knowledge about your relationship to yourself, the world, and the divine. She goes on to explain it a little bit more, but think about when your kids are little. This is their time to be creative, to play, to study, to figure out who they are, what their relationship is within their selves and their families and their worlds and their communities, right? Um, and then they start to gain some knowledge of whatever spiritual belief they have. This is why um, churches really encourage younger generations to attend.
Yes,
Yeah.
start them younger,
Mhm.
right?
Right. Plant the seeds. Then there's what's called grihasta. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. The time has come to explore the world and all her abundant gifts. Settling on a profession or trade, you now embrace a long-term loving relationship. The refined vital sexual energy that has been cherished is available in its wholesome form to lovingly pleasure another and to create and nurture children. This is young adulthood. This is child rearing years. This is, I would say, your 20s and 30s, right? This is, you're getting established in a career, you're figuring out how to adult. This is that stage of
Lifing.
life, right?
Yes.
Vanaprastha, less time is spent on your profession. The children are grown and have children of their own. You and your partner still enjoy physical intimacy and find the earlier intensity has evolved into deep tenderness and devotion. As more leisure time is available, you long to spend it in spiritual practice and study. This is the empty nesters, right? The kids have grown out. Maybe they're about retirement age, maybe not.
Right.
You know, that stage of life, right? And then Yaniyasa, which is the 4th stage of life, is letting go of worldly duties and desires. You are drawn more toward the spiritual than the physical world. Drawing inward, most of your treasured time is dedicated to service, study, and devotion of the divine. This is retirement, senior years, end of life.
Yeah. Having, like, living life and
Mhm.
being in joy.
So anyway, I found that really interesting because this has all been part of the yogic traditions and living it. She talks about living life in balance and why these different stages of life are important.
So
So
there's things
I
you
found that really cool.
experience and learn in those times.
Mhm.
And then as you grow, you create the wisdom behind them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. And then we get back to letting go and being free. This is again spring cleaning, right? Letting go of things we aren't holding on to.
Yeah.
Life's ebb and flow.
An empty place allows for new things to abundantly fill your life.
Mhm. Our lives are like, I don't know. I feel like we've seen that demonstration of the professor and he's got a jar and he fills it with ping pong balls.
This is a good
Is
one.
it full? Yeah. But guess what? I can fit marbles in there too, right? And it fills the gaps between the ping pong balls. Is it full?
Well, it appears to be.
It appears to be. Yeah. But guess what? There's still room for more. And then he like pours in sand. And that fills the gaps. Is it full now? Sure. And then he pours in water.
I like it when they pour in a beer.
Oh, just for fun. A little
Just
bit
for
of fun.
A beer. And yeah, there's always time for beer.
There's always a little time for fun, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
it's the power of creating space for what you want your life to look like.
Yeah.
That
So
abundance.
and this is a great opportunity for that spring cleaning, air
Mhm.
quotes, right? Of choosing what your big ping pong balls are.
Mm.
What do you want to have taking more space in your life? Deciding that.
Mhm.
Because when you decide instead of reacting to your life you're living, it's a different feeling. I know that Charlie and I have been incredibly full, and people are like, why are you using that word? And I'm like, because we chose it.
Mhm.
We're happy that our schedule's full. We're
If
not,
we use the term busy,
it feels
it
gross.
feels negative. Or, when you tell somebody, oh, I'm so sorry I can't come to your event. I'm busy. It makes it sound like you don't really want to go. But if you say, I'm sorry I can't come to your event, I'm already full at that time, it sounds so much better, right?
It feels energetically better because that's the way you want to come across anyways,
Mhm.
right? You want to come from loving kindness
And abundance.
and abundance. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get to choose and decide what your life is full of.
Ooh, 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 ooh. I love it. And that's going to lead us into something new.
Yeah.
So,
I figured out a thing, you guys.
if you're listening, you can't see this cool thing. But if you are not listening, you can, well, if you're listening, you hear this clicking, and that is our new document camera. So putting up here is what Charlie's going to read. It's from from the You Can Heal Your Life book, and this is
This
the
week's
stanza.
this week's affirmation.
Affirmation,
Stanza.
poem, stanza. I don't know what. I never did learn what it's supposed to be called.
I'm going to call it an affirmation because
Okay.
that's what it feels like to me. All right, let's take a deep breath.
If you are driving, please don't close your eyes.
In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am one with the power that created me. I am totally open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. I am divinely guided and protected, and I make choices that are beneficial for me. I rejoice in others' success, knowing there is plenty for us all. I am constantly increasing my conscious awareness of abundance, and this reflects in a constantly increasing income. My good comes from everywhere and everyone. All is well in my world.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. What an amazing way to start our week. Decided and abundant. Ooh.
Prosperity.
I got the
And-
goosebumps.
Ooh.
We got a good flow going on. This is going to be the last episode of the quarter.
This is the last episode of the quarter.
So this is the last time
Yeah.
you'll hear from Marianne next. Not the last time on this podcast right now, this quarter.
Our
The last
cause of the
time.
quarter for the second quarter of 2023 is the Marysville Police Foundation. So you will see their commercial coming up here soon. I'm working on getting that together. And for now, we have Rayan Hall with Hall Insurance for this quarter's cause of the quarter, now networking.
We love her so much.
Love her so much.
Thank you, Rayanne. And thank you all for listening today and being part of At the Table Mindset Monday.
Namaste.
Mwah.
And now networking. We help these young women transition from high school into college. And ours is a unique program because we are helping them each year of college till they get that bachelor's degree or go into their chosen career. And so that mentorship goes on through college and actually after college, because what we have is we have 2 phases in our program. And that first one is getting them through high school to college to their career. And once they're in their career, they're now a member forever with a free membership. And we have mentors in place, business coaches that help them to learn the essential skills to run an effective business. And so the mentoring goes on, the relationship goes on, and I'm sure that they will eventually also be mentors to the new kids coming into our program.
We take the mystery and pain out of social media consistency for your business, giving you back time to shine in your zone of genius. Social media is the new branding. It deserves its own attention, thought, and effort. Yet so few businesses actually take this seriously and invest enough time on their strategy. We can do it for you at an affordable rate that will fit into your budget and allow you to pursue other revenue channels as well. The hardest part of social media management is keeping up the consistency to be seen and know what to post, when to post. Are you ready to have everything ready to go for you, saving you time and energy by not having to do it all yourself? Still getting your message out so that people get to know you, like you, and develop trust while opening yourself up to more time for the business of your business where you shine. Working with Women in Leadership, BSMB LLP, is a unique experience that bridges the gap from face-to-face to virtual relationship marketing. Not only do we love to help you shine on social media, we love to share tools to help you grow with us, body, soul, mind, and business. Check out our podcast and YouTube channel for Mindset Mondays, Social Media Training Wednesdays, business interviews and special topics on Fridays, and weekly readings on Sundays. To schedule your consultation or podcast interview, head to our website, www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get our weekly readings on Sunday, our podcast, Mindset Monday, Social Media Training with Heather on Wednesdays with a live Q&A, and guest interviews and special topics on Fridays. Thank you for joining us. Find out more and schedule with us online at www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com, where you have a spot at the table. Thank you for joining in on the fun. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.